Welcome, friends. We are recording live from the LBTQ Women's Inform, Inspire and Celebrate event in recognition of International Women's Week 2024. I'm your resident host, Meg Talks. For this episode, I'm joined by Lexie.
Hey.
Lexie, and I know you were here representing UK Black Pride.
Yes.
Good to be with you. Listen, it is a privilege to be able to sit down and have this conversation, Lexie, for real.
Thank you for having me, though.
No, it had to be done. So first and foremost, tell me why it was important for you to be a part of this event today.
Because Phil asked, literally, beginning and end. When Phil calls, you respond. And Phil doesn't just call for anything and everything, you know what I mean? If she wants you to be part of something, that means she wants you to take space and talk about your story and say what you have to say. So this is why I'm here today.
I feel that. I think it's a fantastic moment for Black and people of colour within the sphere of queerness to be a part of this, to mobilise, to share our experiences. I know I came downstairs and began to watch some of the panel conversations, and it was so amazing to hear some of those nuanced views, experiences and concerns being discussed in such an open forum. And you could just feel the energy of receptiveness and empathy within all of that. I do have a couple of questions that will help me kind of navigate today, this event today, but also beyond that. I know you for being an entrepreneur.
Yes.
It's that entrepreneurial flame. And what role do you see Black queer women occupying within the world of entrepreneurship?
I think I see more and more Black queer women taking space. And that's exactly what I did with my company as well. And obviously having a wife who's on the same wavelength, we're here to take space. And I think more and more Black queer women are being unapologetic about taking space. And I love to see that. We have people coming to us saying how we inspire them, and I love that, because that means that you're going to be doing your thing and taking the space that, you know, belongs to you. And I think this sort of narrative that we used to see is shifting. So now more and more Black queer women are taking space, especially in travel, because we travel a lot and we attend like travel conferences. We do talks, we do a lot, so we see them, you know, and it's amazing to see.
I think it's so necessary that we're not just beneficiaries or participants, but we're involved in the ownership and the curation of the events, spaces, and services that we ultimately, you know, receive is the right word? Yeah, that we enjoy and that we embrace. Are there any particular spaces, events, spaces and events that you personally really enjoy and think, actually, this has made a profound impact on my life?
Definitely, first and foremost, UK Black Pride. This is why I wanted to get involved as well, to provide, you know, it's a safe space for us. You know, we touched on safe spaces and what it means for me. UK Black Pride is a safe space for me. And yeah, it's about that. It's about, you know, whatever it is that I wanted to see, whatever it is that I want, I'm going to be part of it and provide that. So that's why, yeah, it was important for me to obviously get involved with UK Black Pride. And obviously Aisha manages the Common Press, which has become like the place to be. You know what I mean? You've done podcasts there. We're doing events. She does events. I'm going to do events there for my wedding community. There's all sorts of things. And the moment you step into that space, you feel like, oh, okay, cool. You kind of, everybody knows that place. You know what I mean? And this is what we keep on coming, because it's cool. There's some cool events. There's some books. You can come and chill. You can come and do your thing. And that's what we need as well.
Is that we need, I think it's important that we have a location, because we have a lot of events that happen on a Tuesday, happen on a Wednesday, happen on a Saturday.
Exactly.
But beyond the time when it closes, it is no longer accessible to the Black queer community. but having places that act as staples, that you can go there for a multitude of reasons. So whether it be you've gone there to have a hot beverage, whether it be that you've gone there to maybe expand your book collection, whether it's you've gone for a social, maybe little kizomba, whatever it might be, that there is something, there is a place that is a staple. And I think that over the years, it really has built its reputation. You really helped me to segue into something I wanted to explore around the queer wedding space, right? So just tell us a little bit about your company, the focus point of it, and then we can just pick up from there.
Yeah, so my company Queer Weddings was set up a few years ago out of frustration. I've mentioned that I've worked in the hospitality industry for 17 years, and I've channeled that frustration into making a business. I've seen a lot of things working in, very posh hotels, I see the narrative that's there, and I say that I don't belong there, I don't fit in there. Although I love hospitality, I've learned so much from that world. But, there comes a point where, over and over again, you don't see yourself, you don't really fit there. I thought I don't really belong there. So let me just create that space that I want to be in. Queer Black weddings. I want to see more of that. And even so far, my clientele has been beyond even the Black sphere. It's been like, I've had Pakistani, I've had Jewish, I've had Indians. And it's amazing, I think. And every time I speak to my clients about things, they're like, oh, we can't actually believe that there's a wedding planner that can really understand us, because it's, a lot of non-queer wedding planners have tried to cater to, queer couples, and it's not authentic. It doesn't work. And people can tell when it's not authentic,
Just to pick up on that, what do you think is missing when you have someone that's not part of the queer community planning weddings for queer couples? Where do you think it goes wrong?
It's authenticity. It's trying to cater to couples that you literally don't even understand. And that starts with, for example, pronouns. Simple thing, but for some people it means a lot. You know what I mean? And you can't assume when you see someone that is going to be a he or a she, and that's literally where it starts and where it stops, he or she. You don't actually understand the theys. You don't understand any of that. So how are you going to cater to this community if you don't really understand them? That's my thing. So yeah, I really wanted to get in that space and make couple feel like they're understood first and foremost, because I would want, as a queer Black person, I want to be understood whenever I go to spaces. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the work that you're doing is special, because I know that when my time comes to pop the question and pop the ring and get married, girl. Right, if I were to, naturally, if I were to go to have a wedding planner, I would be anxious, because I'm bringing you into a very intimate, private, sacred space in my life, and you may not be able to navigate that space with the care and consideration that is required at that time, right? And you'd be thinking that maybe if I'm too open, if I'm being me and we're just being in love, that perhaps are they judging? Are there things that are not being said? Yeah. Are there unconscious prejudices and biases? And having someone that actually does understand, that is from the community, eliminates that. It cuts through all of that anxiety, and you can really focus on what is important, which is the big day. And I know you've also got your hand in the queer travel as well. So I just really wanted to kind of quickly just speak about your role in that space, any observations that you have made, and any changes that you think are due.
Observations, I mean, I have a lot, to be honest with you. Aisha and I, we started our travel page to disturb that industry altogether. Like the same as the wedding industry is too white and too, too rigid. So we wanted to disturb that space and be like, oh, okay, actually, Black people travel. I don't know if you know that, but we do travel. And beyond being like an influencer or, just taking nice photos in different part of the world. It's mainly the activism for us that we actually don't really see in other people who get more clout than us. But for us, we keep the activism thing at the top because that's, for me, a top priority. You don't make space for us. That's the bottom line. So we're going to come in and do our thing and talk about it as well, because we talk about it, you know? So yeah, there's a lot of observation, but what we are doing, we are, you know, just put that aside and do your thing and talk about it. And we've been able to, you know, break some barriers and work with different brands who are really ready to listen to us as well, which is great. But we want to keep going in that direction.
I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
When you go on holiday, it is because you've identified that you're possibly at capacity within yourself. You need a break.
Yeah.
You need to press pause. Sometimes even booking a holiday, getting to the point where you're pressing a button and it's booked, that can also be quite stressful, and making sure you get a good deal, you're at the right place, your accommodation's at the right location to the beach or whatever it is that you're passionate. There's a lot of consideration that goes into it. So then what the idea of, now I'm going to be with my partner in this new space, in this new country. I might not be able to speak the language and I don't have access to my support system immediately, can be quite anxiety provoking. So I think the more inclusive organizations, brands can be within the travel industry, the more it will help us to feel more peaceful in that. And I know I've traveled to a couple of countries, like for example, Cape Verde. Yeah. It was amazing that I got to be in Africa, amongst my people, being gay as hell with my partner, and it was just delightful. There was not a single second that I felt uncomfortable, anyone was being unreasonable or inappropriate, and I could just be gay in love in paradise. And
that's good.
I would love for that to be the narrative wherever we go. Yeah. Thailand was another fantastic example where I just felt so free as a Black queer person. There was no side eye in me when I was in the toilet about is this person supposed to be in there? They understood about fluidity. So I really appreciate the work and the commitment that you and Aisha are putting into this space, because people like myself that love to travel, my friend over here, Vanessa, you know, you just come back from Thailand. As well.
Thailand,
What was that, last week or this week or something like that? So you know, it's necessary work.
But, and then also Aisha and I are working on getting licenses to be able to organize group trips. So at the moment we are studying hard, getting all the licenses and you know, so we're going to be able next year to organize group trips. So essentially we work with partners and companies to be able to take big groups to like cruises or, you know, different prides around the world. So you'll have your trusted travel agents to come on a trip with.
That's amazing. that is amazing, because sometimes you don't have people to go with, or maybe your people can't come. Yeah. And being a part of a collective often can make you feel there's strength, power and security in numbers. And I know that just from experience, your travel groups are well thought through. If we look at Bali, you know, there was nothing but positive feedback. Yeah. And I think, again, it's just amazing that you can bring people together and they can make friends. When you travel together, that's a bond for life.
That honestly, the travel, like people who travel, queer people who travel, we've met some really good people that we are friends with that live, you know, everywhere around the world. And we see them because we go a lot to travel conferences as well to kind of, you know, mingle, do our thing and get those contacts. So, you know, we work a lot in that sense to be able to create those communities. And people around the world, like I said, people around the world, we have friends everywhere now. And it's so good because we're at that stage where we're like, you know what, let's bring our people, let's do some things. Like, we deserve joy. We work hard, you know, and it's not, you see us going everywhere, but it's not always just for a holiday. So, you know, we work hard and we want to play hard as well. You know, we deserve that.
Hey, indeed you do. Indeed we do. But Lexie, it has been an honour and a privilege to be
Thank
able
you.
to tap into the topic of black entrepreneurship within the wedding and travel sector. Is not something you hear about. Oftentimes, you guys are really disrupting the space. So thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you for listening.
All right, folks, and we're out.